Let's get it. What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Dollar Mike back at it again with another video. Today's video we're going to be talking about some savings accounts. We haven't talked about savings accounts in a while because they honestly haven't been that great. But we're in a time yet again, thanks to the world, thanks to the economy, where savings accounts and high interest or high yielding savings accounts are actually an option out here for you. So today, of course, we're going to be talking about the best high interest or high yield savings accounts for August of 2022. All the numbers that I'm going to give to you today are in respect to August 1st of 2022, so anything might change going forward. You guys already know. If you don't know, savings accounts rates change depending on what's going on with the Federal Reserve and all that kind of good stuff. So like I said, the rates may change. If anything, they'll probably go up instead of going down, which is good for you or good for me or good for us. So yeah, either way, let's get it started. Let's talk about these savings accounts for August of 2022, high yield, high interest, all that kind of good stuff. Let's go. I'm going to go over my top 5 best ranking high yield or high interest savings accounts for August of 2022, and also I'm going to have a bonus, so make sure you stick around towards the end of the video. I'll have a bonus which is a little bit different, but you can still make a lot of interest and a lot of extra money from that as well, so definitely stick around for the bonus. Regardless, before I jump into those top 5, I just want to give you a little bit of background about high interest savings accounts, why this is happening, and all that kind of good stuff. But if you want to skip, I'll put something right here to let you know you can skip right to top 5 picks. So yeah, let me do that. But if you want to stick around and learn a little bit about the background and why all this is going on, why you need it, or why it's useful to you, then just sit tight because we're getting started right here. Either way, what's the point of a high interest savings account? What's the need in having a high interest savings account? And what really is a high interest savings account? Pretty much a high interest savings account is literally just going to get you extra income or extra interest on your money just by having your money stored with a particular bank or a particular institution. So maybe with your normal bank, with your traditional bank like Wells Fargo or Bank of America, you may have $10,000, say for instance, and sitting in your savings account. That $10,000 sitting in that savings account is probably gathering about 0.01% interest every single year. And you may say, well, 0.01% on $10,000 really isn't a lot of money. And you're right, it's not a lot of money. I don't even think it's $1. Pretty much Bank of America is actually lending that money out to make money off of your money that's in the savings account, but you're not receiving any of that extra payment in your savings account fund. So you might start the year with $10,000 and end the year with at most $10,001. Overall, a high interest savings account will pretty much combat that, where you'll earn a little bit more interest on your money just by having it sit in a bank account. It's all FDIC insured, it's all insured, so you're all good to go. You don't have to worry about losing any money. Your money isn't invested into any stocks or crypto or anything like that, so you're all good to go. Simply put, a high interest savings account is just out there to allow you to pretty much make extra income on the money that you save or have stored in a savings account. As I mentioned before, you're going to get virtually nothing by having your money stored in a traditional savings account, say with Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, some of the largest banks here in the US. If you stored your money in a high interest savings account, you'll get a little bit more. And of course, if you take a little bit more risk with your money by investing it into the stock market, then you'll possibly get even more than that. Because all they're doing with your money, your $10,000 that you have sitting in a savings account, all they're doing is borrowing, letting that money be lent out, and they're pretty much making interest off of your own money that's in your savings account. You don't know this. It's just something you do when you sign up. Check the fine print. It's probably in there, to be completely honest. But no one reads the fine print. So why is all this happening in the first place? Why are banks offering a high interest savings account when they can pretty much give you more money versus not giving you that money at all? Why is this going on? Pretty much this is going on because of the Federal Reserve and inflation. If you guys don't know, if you haven't been outside in pretty much the past half a year and almost a year now, things are pretty expensive. Gas is up, food's up, rent's up. I don't know what else is up, but my portfolio was up the past month, so that's pretty good as well. The whole point is things cost more money, and naturally, since things cost more money, on top of the economy not doing as well as it could, we're running into an issue of inflation. Pretty much too much spending going on and not enough saving going on. So the Federal Reserve is trying to combat inflation by increasing interest rates to overall make it harder for you to borrow money. So if you guys didn't know, if you wanted to go out and borrow money, I guess, to buy a house or maybe buy a new car or maybe get a new credit card back in the beginning of this year, then interest rates were probably a little bit lower. You probably could get something for a house maybe around 1, 2, 3%, and now it's sitting around 5, 6, 7%. For a car, same thing kind of goes. Credit cards a little bit higher just because credit cards are just naturally higher. And that's just the realistic thing of it. So since the Federal Reserve is increasing those interest rates to pretty much combat inflation, it's going to cost you more money to borrow the same amount of money. If you want to borrow $40,000 of pretty much for a car, it's going to cost you a little bit more than what it would have about 6, 7 months ago. Simple enough. Either way, let's talk about the top 5 best picks, in my personal opinion, the top 5 best picks for a high yield, high interest savings account for August of 2022. Like I said, these are all numbers that are subject to change. They probably go up over time, and this is pretty much recording from August 1st. And on top of that, like I said before, watch all the way to the end because there'll be a bonus as well. And at pick number 5 is the American Express savings account. With the American Express savings account, you have to deposit at least a minimum of $1 single. Yes, $1 for this account to be pretty much active. And on top of that, you're going to get a 1.25% APY, which is your interest rate for the year. Like I said, these could change. They'll likely go up. Before my recommendations, at number 4, the bank I'm talking about here is Ally Bank. Ally Bank is going to be that Ally Bank online savings account. There is a $0 minimum with Ally Bank. They also have a buckets feature, which allows you to pretty much separate your money into different buckets and overall have different type of savings goals throughout your savings account, all consolidated into one single savings account, which I think is really cool. I've used them and I'll continue to use them in the future, and I use them as one of my main banks, and I'm also invested into Ally Financial, so a little bit of a bias here, but either way, they're going to give you a 1.4% APY, and on top of that, they also have some other savings tools that'll just help you on your saving money journey. Let's move on over to number 3. At number 3 is the Marcus by Goldman Sachs savings account. This is also going to be a $0 minimum to go ahead and start your savings account journey with this as well. And you're going to get a 1.5% APY. On top of that, Marcus by Goldman Sachs, their mobile app is pretty easy, pretty simple to use. And they walk you through everything, and they also tell you pretty much how much interest you're pretty much making on a consistent basis every single month. Most of these other apps also offer mobile apps, but I know Marcus by Goldman Sachs, it's just super smooth, super clean, easy to use. No problems there. Ally and American Express, about the same thing, and all the ones on the list today also have no fees, so that's very important. If you see fees on there, don't even bother, because there's tons of savings accounts out there that don't pretty much charge you any fees, so don't bother. If I'm wrong about one of these or they change and they have fees all of a sudden, do not use it, because there's other options out there for you. My number 2 recommendation is the CIT Bank or CIT Bank Savings Connect savings account. I'm not sure if you pronounce it CIT or CIT, so let me know down in the comment section below. I've never used them personally, but right now they're offering a 1.9% APY, which I think is very solid. They do have a $100 minimum, but I think if you're trying to save some money, honestly, you should be putting $100 or pretty much as you can into the extra savings account, because you're only going to make more money in the outcome by having more money in the savings account in general. But they do have a $100 minimum, so if that's a cutoff for you, then obviously don't go with them. You can choose one of the other ones on the list, like the next one. But yeah, so 1.9% APY, super solid. Like I said, probably will go up in the future. No problems here either. Number 1 recommendation is one I actually used before, and I believe they almost had a 4% APY back in the day when I used it a couple years ago. But right now, that is the Wealthfront Cash account. Right now, that is also a 2% APY, the highest I've seen pretty much around that I personally trust putting my money into. All of these, like I said, are insured, but at the end of the day, I still only trust certain banks. That's just me, though. But regardless, the Wealthfront Cash account has a $0 minimum, so that's great as well. And on top of that, they have tons of other features like an investing account as well if you're interested in starting your investing journey as well. And they also have a robo-advisor, so you can pretty much put your money in and have the robo-advisor tell you, you can invest in this to make this type of money and do all that kind of good stuff. But you guys already know how I feel about that. I'm not really too big on the robo-advisor deal. I think you should just go ahead and if you really want to be invested into the stock market, just go ahead and just buy a broad market index fund and sit back, put the money in, and relax. Either way, that's a whole separate topic. That's a whole separate video, but that's my recommendation. And that is the 5 picks that I have right here for you. But like I said before, I also have a bonus one, so let's talk about that bonus one right here. My bonus pick for today is a savings account that I talk about on the channel enough. I haven't talked about it too much recently, but I've made 4 or 5, maybe 6 videos talking about this particular savings account because it's that great, and I still 100% recommend it. They do not pay me to say any of this. I wish they did, but it is what it is. Either way, I'm gonna always recommend them because they haven't failed me yet. So that is Yada Savings. So with Yada Savings, you're gonna get a little bit of a less interest rate. You're only gonna get guaranteed 0.20 APY every single year, which is significantly lower than all the other options I mentioned on this list today, but you make up for that for what Yada Savings actually is. When you save your money with Yada Savings, you could have the potential to win money every single week, and that's what I've done in my Yada Savings account ever since I had it about almost 2 years now. I think this August. Oh, actually, it's August right now. Yeah, I think it's been about 2 years since I've had my Yada savings account. And right now, my current APY for the month of July alone, just July, not throughout the entire year, but just July alone is already 3%, 3.06%. So higher than anyone that I mentioned on this list today. And on top of that, we look at the prizes, how much money I pretty much won since I've been saving with Yada Savings is $845.89. Like I said, you're going to win money from Yada Savings every single week. If you don't win more money, then you'll have a higher chance of winning money on the very next week. So pretty much what Yada Savings is, you invest your money into Yada Savings, not invest. You save your money into Yada Savings, and every $25 gets you one ticket. That one ticket gets you entered into a raffle where you could win $10 million as the grand prize. Each ticket has 7 numbers on it. If you match all 7 numbers, then you win the $10 million grand prize. So far, since I've been using Yada Savings, no one has won the $10 million grand prize, but a couple of people have won the next prize runner-up, which is a Tesla Model 3 or about $40,000. That has happened about 3 or 4 times, I believe now. So yeah, I've never won that much. The most I ever won in one single week from Yada, I believe, was about $40 or $50, which I think is amazing because the average savings account, you won't get that in a year unless you have like $100, maybe $200,000 in that particular savings account. So Yada Savings, I think, is honestly the true best bang for your buck. The most money you'll save. It's also FDIC insured, so you're all good to go there. Your money is safe. None of your money is invested or anything like that. I've talked about Yada Savings plenty of times on the channel, so definitely check out those Yada Savings videos. I have a playlist right up there. But to me, that is my favorite. That is my true #1 pick. But it's not, when it comes to an APY, a solid APY that you'll always get, Wealthfront is the top right now. But overall, like I said, Yada Savings, you'll likely make way more money without having that much money in there saved right now. On top of that, for me personally, I have about $6,000 saved in there right now. And $6,000 saved in any of these other banks I mentioned today simply won't allot to that much money at the end of the year versus when you compare it to Yada Savings. So overall, Yada still top tier for me, but that's it. Yada's in its own zone. The APY banks, other ones are all in this zone. Yada's over here just chilling at the top, to me personally. So do what you gotta do, figure out, do a little bit of research, find out which ones you like best for you, and that's pretty much it. I don't think I have anything else to talk about in today's video. Either way, yeah, if you have any questions, down below, comments, recommendations for other personal finance topics that you would like me to talk about, let me know, comment section below. On top of that, get yourself a ledger right here. One of the channel partners right here is a ledger. This will make sure your cryptocurrency is 100% secure at all given times, because I simply don't have time to hop onto Coinbase or Robinhood and all my crypto is gone and I can't access it because they can't afford to pay it out to me. So get yourself a ledger, save yourself with that. On top of that, check out Seeking Alpha if you're interested in stocks and stuff like that. Seeking Alpha is super solid. You'll get a free trial with my link down below. And Ledger also provides a kickback to the channel, which is greatly appreciated. But honestly, just thank you for watching the video. If you want to like it, then definitely drop a like. That'll greatly help out the video as well. And like I said, just watching it is already great enough. So I really do appreciate it, guys. I'm out. I think we're pushing for like 18,000 subscribers, so good stuff there. Should be a fun time. Should be a nice second half of the year, hopefully. The stock market's looking up. Things are looking up. I'm happy. Let me know how you are. Let me know how you're feeling. Either way, that's all I really got. I'm just blabbing on. So I'm out. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay positive. Stay hydrated. Dollar Mike. Peace.